Walking football has only been around for 7 years. It was created by Chesterfield FC Community Trust to give people over the age of 50 who, due to lack of mobility and other health problems, were unable to play the sport. The new adapted game allows people to enjoy the sport without the stress on the body that football can have. Walking football was introduced to Gibraltar by Jerry Brito just a few years ago. Using it as a tool for exercise, it attracted plenty of football enthusiasts who missed the game and wanted to have some sort of connection to it. Now the sport has affiliated with the Gibraltar Football Association and recently welcomed teams from across the border for some friendly competition. Led by manager Eric Abuderam, there are plenty of opportunities for the sport and its players, not just locally, but away too. I caught up with both Jerry and Eric to discuss next month's competition, but first asked Jerry how he came to bring the sport to the Rock. So Jerry, walking football, it's quite a popular sport in the UK. It hasn't been around too long, but I know that you're the person that brought and introduced the sport to Gibraltar. How are you seeing the locals taking to it?
The locals have taken to it amazingly well. It's gone very, very well. It was started by a few of us, a few friends. We got together, and it's progressed tremendously. We've got a lot of people coming now. The standard has progressed. We are playing a lot more, and everything is much better than we could have expected when we started.
And why did you decide to introduce this sport to Gibraltar?
Well, because I needed to do some sport, and I saw walking football in the UK, and I thought it was a very good idea. I spoke to a couple of friends, and they agreed, and we got going. As an idea, it was to get sports, to get something done, to get some exercise.
And have those that have participated in the walking football shown that they feel a lot better, more healthy and fitter?
Yes, they have become a lot fitter. As we started, we had a few players. Some of them dropped out. We got new ones. The age came down because we started with older players, but then we got a few younger ones, and a few people who had played football at a high level for GFA and all that. So the standard increased, and with that, our training increased, and our standard and our stamina.
And I know that you welcomed a couple of teams from Spain. Eric, you participated in that tournament. And playing competitively, walking football, is it a lot different to when you just train on a Friday morning?
Not really, because when we play on a Friday morning, it's very competitive. Needless to say, we have put out a team now that will be going to Bristol, and that team has been playing the rest of those who are not going. So it has become rather competitively every Friday, and in fact every Wednesday, because we have increased. Because of this Bristol trip, we have increased to a Wednesday, and you can see the fitness, you can see the way people are playing, and okay, playing against the Marbella team and against the San Pedro team, the two teams that came out, obviously was a different kind of game. I mean, the competitiveness will always be there for those of us who played football before.
And when playing walking football, I know there's a lot of rules that are different to the normal football. Is it hard sometimes not to do the sliding tackle, not to run, and not to do certain moves that are not allowed?
Well, the most difficult one is not running. I mean, even the fact that those of us who still play, and it's difficult, even though we do it at a walking pace or it's very difficult not to run. And that is the most difficult part of the game, not to run with the ball.
And in May you're off to the UK for a proper official competition. What are your thoughts on that? You're going as manager. Have you got expectations for your team?
Well, yes, we've got a very, very good team at the moment, training hard. And obviously, as Jerry has said before, we have been able to see the level of fitness coming up, and we're quite hopeful that we'll do pretty well.
And it's popular here, you're going all the way to compete, but are you offering the sport, are you hoping that people will come just to have a laugh, just to enjoy themselves without the pressure of thinking that they may have to go abroad to compete in the sport?
Well, that's what it's all about. That's why Jerry initially, with a few friends, started the walking football, for all those, those who have not played football before, to enjoy a sport and to actually do some fitness.
The Gibraltar Football Association are now working closely with walking football, another step in the right direction that allows the association to increase participation at all ages and abilities. An area of football that is of huge importance to the GFA is grassroots football. This includes all non-professional and non-elite football that is offered to all and played at a level where participation and love of the game are the driving forces. UEFA have a grassroots programme to encourage associations to put in place practices that will help ensure a bright future for football. Locally, Leslie Askes is grassroots manager and his focus is sports for all. This initiative is another step forward for the growth of football, as inclusion for all is paramount within the grassroots charter. With Gibraltar competing in its first ever international competition, I spoke to Leslie about the introduction of the sport, what it offers and how he hopes to see it develop.
To tell you the truth, it's been going on for practically 2 years now. There's a group of veteran players coming every week, sometimes 2 times a week, and every Fridays or 1 time a week. And they are very enjoying the enjoyment and the fun they get from that. I believe that it's like playing football when they started, when they were at younger age.
And you also welcomed a team from Spain. You had Marbella over. What were your thoughts on the whole process, the whole day and events that took place?
Yes, it was a very enjoyable day on Wednesday. It was a Marbella team and San Pedro team, which they came. They had a lovely time here in Gibraltar. The weather was really nice, and we had 4 games. Even though it is for fun and enjoyment, it was really competitive. And the important thing of this is after the game, which we made a reception, and everybody, because it's also part of socializing and getting friends. And I believe, and what we talked about football.
Yeah. And of course football is our main sport here in Gibraltar, especially with men. And now you've got the chance of going away to the UK. Tell us a bit about the trip that you'll be going on.
Yes, the trip will be on May. It's a Super Masters tournament. It's been going on for many years now. It's in Bristol, and even though it's walking forward should not be competitive, but it is competitive. And I believe we have 4 games, 15 minutes game, 4 games, and we will see other teams from many other countries, because we've got English teams playing, teams from Canada, teams from America, you know. And I believe that will be one step is for us as the GFA. It's very important because we are now getting into the system of football for all, where many people say, what's grassroots football? And grassroots football is football for all. And these guys, health-wise, fitness-wise, socializing, friendship, fun, enjoyment, and I believe that's incredible.